Greetings and welcome, my friends. You have come over to the Synthesizer Side. This is the Wave 2, a Simic synthesizer deck that, much like the original, uses a card to power out plenty of cards right from the top of our deck and onto the battlefield. Forget United Battlefront, we can do more. We've got ramp to get us to our powerful top-end cards, and of course, the ramp also generates robot overlords if we have a synthesizer in play. We do have a defensive card as well as a way to gain a bit of life, but we're relying mostly on the power of our overwhelming board to get the job done. We do have a sneaky card in our top end to help us out if things get tricky, but we're completely behind the power of our robot overlords. First up, 3 steps ahead, the powerful tool for any synthesizer list. Dropping a synthesizer on turn 3, then making a copy of it on turn 4, is one of the best plays we can make. It sets us up with double synthesizers as well as scrying for 2 twice. As good as that is, we can use counter spell portion to stop an opponent's play if it's something we don't want to see happen. And of course, the draw option is also pretty good if we're in a spot where we need to find a particular card. Fountainport Bell is our solution to shuffler specials. For only 1 mana, we can play it out to get any basic land from our deck and put it on top of our library. Then for another mana, we can sacrifice the bell to draw a card. Later in the game, when we don't need additional mana, it's a 2 mana draw 1 spell. So essentially it cycles itself away. The synthesizer is our key card. We want to get it in play as soon as possible and start generating robot overlords on every turn. The Scry 2 always helps in setting up the top of our deck for more action, and replicating it is a sure way to end the opponent. GG's, and thanks for coming on the big show. The Helm is a fantastic artifact to have alongside a synthesizer. It generates a map token anytime we generate a token artifact. This creates a heap of map tokens that boosts the stats of our robot overlords. And for 2 mana, we can use the Helm to make a token copy of any token artifact we have on board. If we can position ourselves to make a token synthesizer, we can copy that token with the Helm once during each of our turns. Ancient Cornucopia is a great artifact to have on board as it gains us a life every time we play out a card that is 1 or more colors. This gives us ramp as well as color fixing for only 3 mana. Heaped Harvest is another ramp artifact. This one lets us fetch out a basic land from our deck and put it in play tapped. It is a food, so we can pay 2 mana and sacrifice it to gain 3 life, and we get its land searching ability a second time. There's a reason we want so much ramp, and it's coming up soon. Patchwork Banner is another mana artifact. This one pumps the stats of a creature type of our choice. We'll want to choose Construct to boost our robot overlords. Genesis Wave is the back-breaking sorcery that we're ramping towards. With enough mana, we can fire it off and get a heap of permanents off the top of our deck. It's like a United Battlefront, but for green, and it gets way more than just 2 cards onto the battlefield. Our goal should be an X value of 6 or more, but in emergencies, 3 or more will be just fine, as that can still hit plenty of cards. Aetherize is our defensive measure. We'll use it on an opponent's attack to bounce all their men back to hand. If they're using tokens, then those simply disappear. It's a great way to reset the opponent's attacking men, as well as buy us a bit of time while we continue to set up our board. Confiscate is a sneaky enchantment that gives us control of any permanent the opponent has played out. It's 1/2 of the sneaky top end we're playing that can give us an advantage at the right moment. Extravagant Replication is the other sneaky enchantment sitting at our top end. With it, we get a copy of any permanent we control at the beginning of our upkeep. This means a free synthesizer copy, a copy of Cornucopia, or even a copy of Confiscate to steal the opponent's permanents turn after turn. For lands, we're playing 4 Willowrush Verge, the island that becomes a dual when we have an island or forest in play. For Temple of Mystery, the Simic Scry land, 8 forest, and 8 islands. We are playing a larger than normal amount of basics due to the Heaped Harvest, which will fetch basic lands right out of our deck. Playing the deck is very straightforward, as our early turns are spent playing lands and setting up our board. Hopefully we get an early synthesizer down, and we can ramp towards a wave. Our ramp comes along with synthesizer triggers, so while we build up towards our top-end cards, we're also generating robot overlords. As usual, any chance you have to make a token copy of a synthesizer, take it and ramp up the robot overlord production rates. With multiple factory outlets, robot overlords will be a dime a dozen. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This man ly but share cow. I feel like they're trying to say something, but I don't know what. You know we have to kick things off with a shuffler special. We do have a Heaped Harvest and a scry land to help improve our mana situation. We only need to hit one more land. Keep your pants on. Our scry land shows us a helm on top. That's not a land, so we'll send it on down. And we draw mono red as an opponent. Oh joy! Drawing a Confiscate was not on the menu. Can we send this dish back? Someone in the back said it's ours now, so we have to eat it. Thanks, bro. They throw down the beat stick, no serious. Check it out, it is a beat stick. Wait, they kept a one-lander? That is so much worse than where we're at. What was bro thinking? We get another Aetherize, but that's not a land. All we need is one more. They play out a pickaxe, but what they should have picked was the mulligan button. Here we are, not drawing any lands, and now we have to toss a card. At this rate, we're not going to be able to get to our expensive cards, so we'll let a Confiscate go. Another pickaxe. At this rate, they could very well kill us with only one land. I will delete my account forever instead of facing the embarrassment. All hail our third land. Now we can get the ball rolling. We can play out the harvest and fetch out a land to get us to 4 mana. And with 4 mana, we can make a copy of the harvest to help dig out more lands. They turn their spear guy inside out for a whopping 5 damages, but they are still mired at 1 mana. Bro, now you know you should mull those hands. Greedy fool. We're not doing anything this turn. We're going to start sending dishes back. They turn their guy inside out again. As long as he keeps his pants on, that's fine. Then they send it for another whopper of 5 damages, but we can finally fire back. Aetherize, you're up. This dish came out a little cold. Remake it, bro. Amazingly, we've now gotten up to 6 mana, and we can start playing out our pricey cards. We'll go with the replication this turn, and we can start getting token copies of our harvest. That's more lands being fetched out as well as life gain. What a surprise, the spear guy. They're fighting a losing battle now that we can gain life. It's a little late for a bell. Where was this during the first 3 or 4 turns? We'll play it out as its card draw for 2 mana. The opponent gets angry, very angry, and you don't want to see him when he's angry. But they still haven't played another land. Nice, bro, very nice. With a third Heaped Harvest, that's 9 life we can gain in a pinch. It's enough to make a mono red player's head explode. No wait, they are still here. That's enough of this spear guy. Let's see if they have anything else. We'll counter and draw. We draw a Cornucopia. That's a little more life gain whenever we play out a colored spell. If mono red had brains, they would scoop. But naturally here we are, still playing against a one-armed opponent. This turn we're playing everything out. Let's get all our manas on board. From now on we're going to make copies of the Cornucopia. The life gain will surely make them pop like a firework. We gotta do some math here. I've been known to miscount. Let's see 7 plus 3 carry the 1. We don't have to do any division here, right? We're blasting this for 11 boys. Hold on to your underpants. They've got no brains if they still want to keep playing after we drop all this on them. I mean, it's like a third of our remaining deck. On top we have another wave, and we can do this all again next turn. And we've gotten enough mana to steal their guy too. Hilarious. They finally draw into a second land, but we've got more than 100 damages on board. Enough to knock out 5 opponents. It's time we smell you later, bro. This is 38 large, that's his waist size. Those are some big boy pants. If we don't start out with a shuffler special, I feel disappointed. Shout out to the shuffler. We do have a scry land, and a harvest once again to help bail us out. Keep your hopes up. Our scry land shows us a wave. That's not a land, so we'll ship it on down. We draw a bell, and we'll play it out right away. Let's get that third land. The beauty about it is we can also draw the land right away. It's like having your cake and eating it too. The opponent plays out a Maze Mind Tome. It's not a synthesizer, so we're good. We're going with our factory outlet this turn. With a harvest, we'll be producing our robot overlords at reduced prices, and we can afford to hand them out to the opponent. They know they want some. On top, we have another synthesizer and another land. Let's draw the factory first, then we can worry about mana later. The opponent helps us out by playing out a spider. They did just see us drop a synthesizer, right? There's no gimmicks or tricks being played. They see that, right? There's really no choice here. We'll play out our second synthesizer. And they download brown in their underpants. GG's extra cheese. This is Dexter. He likes wearing pants in public, but don't ask him what he does behind closed doors. Bro, this is a family show. We get a 3-lander, and I'm disappointed it's not a shuffler special. We have a synthesizer and an instant copy as well as double confiscate. We make robots until we steal their stuff. I like it. Keep. They play out a Soul Guide Lantern. Tell me you've been traumatized by reanimation strategies without telling me you've been traumatized by reanimation. Why does it smell like stained shorts up in here? They smash their lantern for card draw. How do they know we're not going to bring things back from the dead? It's time to synthesize. Fire up the factory and start the production lines. We've got work to do. On top we've got some stained shorts. No wait, that's a Heaped Harvest and a land. We'll keep them both and in that order. The land will ensure we can fire off the 3 steps ahead on schedule. The opponent plays out a 4th plains but doesn't have any plays. That is suspicious. I smell Pepperjack with a touch of Colby. We'll play out a Cornucopia this turn. We'll get our first robot overlord, and damages will follow unless the opponent can start offering up some sort of defensive measures. They snipe our robot overlord, but as you boys know, there are more on the horizon. The robot men are coming, and they don't stop until a head explodes. This turn will double up on 3 mana artifacts and get a pair of robot overlords. They will not have enough removals. This time they fire off a Sunfall which deals with our AI masters, but that is only temporary. We've got more on the way. They pass the turn. We'll go ahead and make an instant synthesizer. This is a great way to get around sweepers. On top we have a Helm and an Aetherize. It's perfect timing for the Helm, as we just made a token copy of our synthesizer, and we can copy it with the Helm every time we untap. They snipe our robot overlord, and give us a pair of map tokens to help out the robot overlords we have in our future. We thank you, opponent, from the bottom of our metal hearts. Let's strap on this helmet and get some big boys up in here. They are big enough to make the opponent stain their big boy pants. They fire off another removal, and as much as they think that's good, it's not. We can make an instant synthesizer, and we can still smash face on our next turn. They play out in Yugen, and we'll be sure to thank the opponent for such a gift. I mean, Confiscate didn't have any targets until now. They pick our synthesizer as the target they want to exile. That's cool, bro. Tell me more.
Equilibrium must be.
It's time for an instant synthesizer and another robot overlord. On top we have a harvest and a land. We'll send the land on down. We don't need to draw lands from here on out. It's time for Yugen to go where he belongs, to the shark side. As a side note, we're developing a synthesizer deck with Yugen. Good times.
Insight is vital to success.
They play out a 7 deaths, but with our synthesizer duplication, the only death will be theirs. They thought they were playing out one of the biggest men in Standard, but they forgot about robot overlords.
Open your mind to possibility.
It's GG's, double the extra cheese. This is Proteus of the Burning Hand. If it burns like that, get some antifungal cream, bro. We get a 3-lander with a synthesizer, a helm, an Aetherize, and a bell. This should work out just fine. Keep. being on black-white, it surely looks like they're on gain and drain. People seem to have gotten bored of the instant win combo. I haven't seen it in months. It's time for our synthesizer to come on down. We want to see robot overlords at ridiculously low prices. On top we have a Confiscate and a Bell. We already have one Confiscate in hand. I think it's safe to send both on down. They play out a voice of victory, but I think it's premature to be sending the message that it's GG's. Not yet, bro. We still have a little fight left in us. The Harvest will be our play here. The Helm would be good too, but with the Helm we want at least 5 mana, that way we can play it out and activate it to copy a robot overlord right away. All that's left to see is if they're going to send it. I'm guessing no, since we can block up their voice of victory and send him to a happy afterlife. They play out a Lily, and that is going to be the end of our first robot overlord. Lucky for us, we'll have a Helm next time that can make more AI men.
I've always hated crowds.
They hit us with a heist, and I'm guessing they'll want the Confiscate gone. It's bad news for them if we steal their Lily and her enormous underpants. If we're not drawing an endless amount of lands, we're stuck on 2. Shout out to the shuffler. This turn goes to our helmet. It gets us another robot overlord, and we can copy it for additional pain and an extra stain in the opponent's shorts. They play out our Confiscate, but it's not the end of the world. The Helm can still copy our existing robot overlord. In fact, what they should have done was take the Helm. Oh wait, let me guess, Lily is going to make us toss a land.
Drop it.
We draw a Cornucopia. Let's play it out. Every point of life we gain could make a difference later on. Now it's time to smash. Lily knows what it's like to be smashed. Sometimes these jokes write themselves.
It's no fun when they hit back.
One of our robot overlords is mortified. He has to excuse himself to go to the bathroom. Our last robot overlord is also mortified. He has to excuse himself to go to the bathroom. But before he goes, we'll make a copy. They have pants made of metal. Why are they being stained? On the bright side, that was their last card. They have nothing but top decks from here until a head explodes. It's like they dropped their trousers and are free balling it. Good luck with that, bro. We draw a replication, and we'll have to play it out. That's another copy of anything we have. Making extra helms or cornucopias would be amazing. There's no fear in sending it. We've got an Aetherize, and we can make another robot overlord in an instant. They fire up their man land. Anything to gain and drain, right bro? I had forgotten about the voice's ability to stop us from playing out cards during their turn. Our Aetherize is useless, but we can make more robot men. We'll just do that at the end of their turn. They thought they had us, but the only thing they had was a set of stained shorts. Let's get in there for lethality. They explode in their pants, so much for gain and drain. GG's. We'll smell you later, bro. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.